And now.
That's the middle shot. He scores!
Flips it off to Wyatt Matthews. He's in! Eagles take the lead!
The Philadelphia Phillies are 2008 World Champions of Baseball.
Welcome to Sports Talk, the number one sports podcast in the Philadelphia area. Come on out here, Brodes. This episode of Sports Talk with Brodes is brought to you by Sports R Philly. Sports R Philly contains a wide variety of great blogs across the Philadelphia area. You can follow them on Twitter at Sports R Philly or check out their website, www.sportsrphilly.com.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Sports Talk with Brodes. As always, you can follow me on Twitter at sportsandbrodes, where you will find out when my latest podcast drop. You can call into the show using your voice recording app on your phones, record yourself, and send it to sportsandbrodes@gmail.com. You can call about anything. Now, I know the World Series was on last 2 days since I've created my last podcast, and that's a huge story and topic, but I just can't not talk about my birds first. The Eagles are first in my life. I need to speak about it, although I feel bad because I understand that the World Series is the championship series. I mean, that should go first. It's definitely the biggest. But it's my show, and I can do what I want. This is a great day for me. I go to my 8 a.m. to find out that my class right after is canceled. That's beautiful. Probably the best news ever. I come home, I get my coffee, I get my bacon, egg, and cheese. I come sit down, I record an episode of Sports Talk with Brodes. It's a great Thursday. So my Eagles. I have a problem with some of these power rankings that have came out. The NFL power rankings. Shall we? I like this one the best. Eagles at 1. 6-1. Best record in the National Football League. In case you forgot. The Rams at 2. 5-2 record. Steelers at 3. 5-2 record. Chiefs at 4. 5-2 record. And at 5, the New England Patriots with a 5-2 record. That is reasonable. They did put the Rams kind of high. I will say that. The Rams at 2 is a pretty ballsy move. But wait till we get to this ESPN one. ESPN Power Rankings Week 8. The New England Patriots, number 1. Followed by the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm confused. We have a better record than them. 6-1, best record in the NFL. What makes the Patriots ranked higher than the Eagles at this very moment? Because they've done it before? Because they understand where the Patriots have been in the past, where they've started out slow and ended up winning the Super Bowl? Is that why? I mean, I know the power rankings aren't going to define the rest of the season. But if you have the best record in the football league, you should be ranked first with your quarterback with the most touchdowns. Carson Wentz leads the NFL in passing touchdowns with 17. He already surpassed his touchdown total from last season at 16. He's led us to the best start since 2004 with a great chance to win the NFC East. Now, I will be honest with you, and I said this last episode. I'm a little bit afraid. I am a little bit afraid of the Patriots because we have seen this before. We have seen a slow start. Their defense has been getting torched the first couple weeks. Look how many points they've given up since then. I mean, Bill Belichick obviously made adjustments, which we would know that he would do. There's no way he's going to let a defense play that poorly throughout the season. Let's take a look here at the Patriots over the last few weeks. Last week, 7 points against the Falcons. The week before, 17 points against the Jets. When they played the Buccaneers the week before that, 14 points. The last 3 weeks, they've given up 17 points or less. And this is compared to giving up 42 the first week, 33 against the Texans, and 33 against the Panthers. So yeah, we have seen this story before by the Patriots, and yeah, it's a little scary. But hey, we can only control what we can control, and at this point, it's the NFC. We'll worry about that if it comes down to that in the end of the season. Jordan Hicks, Jason Peters, out for the season. This is going to affect us big time. Out for the season. Jason Peters with the ACL and MCL injury, and Hicks with an Achilles bursting. That's tough. What are we going to do? I think we need to read the matchups for who we're going to play and what pass rushers are going to be coming against Wentz. And from there, that's where you play Lane Johnson. If you're going to have somebody rushing from the right side, you're going to keep him on the right side. We're going to have to adjust accordingly from the defense that we're playing. But I think we're going to have to make a move for a linebacker. I mean, are we going to play Kendricks? I heard that we're going to try and shop, but the thing is, we can't shop. If you're not signed right now, you're not going to be something that we're trying to pick up at this very moment, and that is just the truth. But Carson Wentz wins the NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Cam and Russell, the only two other quarterbacks to do it first 2 years of his career. It's amazing. It's so amazing. I can't believe that the Philadelphia Eagles are the team with this kind of quarterback. You see it all the time. You watch ESPN. You see these great quarterbacks doing amazing things. And it's so funny watching it and it being your squad. It's so weird to see all these guys talk about who the best team in the NFL is. I was cracking up. I was watching something on Instagram with SportsCenter put out, and they were talking about how the Eagles are the best team in the NFC East. I almost started crying. Not the NFC East, I'm sorry, the NFC in general. I literally teared up. I said, there's no way this is happening to me. There's no way. I might even tear up right now. Skip Bayless, listen, I know those shows are all talk and all comedy and just to get people going, but it got me going. I know that's his job. I know that's how he gets ratings, but he keeps saying Skip Bayless keeps saying Dak Prescott is better than Carson Wentz still. I mean, that's just delusional. That's him just being delusional. You can't watch Carson Wentz and Dak Prescott and say that Dak is having a better season. Last year, hating the Dallas Cowboys, you look at that season, and I say, respectably, Dak Prescott had a better season. Dak Prescott was the better quarterback last year. You can't sit here as a Dallas Cowboys fan, look at me in the eyes, and tell me that Dak is having a better season than Carson Wentz this year. That's just you being a stu-nod. You have to be a respectful sportsman at some point and just admit when a rival is having a better season than your team. The Eagles are 6-1 and Carson Wentz is leading the NFL in touchdown passes. You can't tell me that Dak Prescott is having a better year than Carson Wentz. I just won't allow it. That pass to Clement last week, when he's under pressure in the pocket, 3 guys on him, he finds his running back in the end zone. I forgot to talk about that last week. How can I forget about it? Because I was just so excited that this was happening. Think about being the Browns GM I saw something on Twitter where they quoted what he was saying at the time of the draft 2 years ago and saying they don't believe that any quarterback in this draft is going to be a quarterback worth it to start their franchise. Oh, really? You don't think so? You don't think Carson Wentz will be a franchise quarterback? That's a shame. How's that working out for you? You had to know when the Browns made a mistake like that it's different if the Patriots are saying, you know what, we don't want him, or someone respectable in the NFL. But when someone like the Browns are thinking, oh man, I don't think he's going to be good, you know he's going to be good because the Browns are always wrong. Always wrong. So we got the Niners coming to town. Am I afraid we're going to come out slow? I don't know. At this point, just like last game, the first quarter was tough to watch, but I sat there and I wasn't just absolutely pissed off. I knew that there was going to be a time where this team was going to turn it around. I had faith that this team was going to be able to figure it out in game, make adjustments, and get the job done. And that's something that hasn't been there in the past. That's new to me. I have to learn how to handle this. Rocking around the NFL for the weekend. You got the Buccaneers hosting the Panthers. The Patriots playing the Chargers. The Bills, Raiders. And then tonight, you have the Dolphins and the Ravens. For the 4 o'clock games, Skins, Cowboys, Lions, Steelers play at 8:30. You have Seahawks, Texans at 4 as well. And then the big Monday night game is the Chiefs and the Broncos. And the Broncos have not been playing that great so far. I'm not afraid of them coming into Philadelphia. But let's go World Series, because that's a huge topic of discussion. I also have the Sixers to talk about. Do I dare go into last night's game? I obviously will. But let's go World Series first. Game 1, the Dodgers take 3-1. Clayton Kershaw tells all the haters, I am ready for the next step. I am ready for the World Series. And he pitched phenomenally. Phenomenally. That's what I was trying to get out. 11 strikeouts. Beautiful execution. It was just great. It was a great game. A good pitching duel. Taylor homered to left in the bottom of the first to give the Dodgers a 1-0 lead. Then Bregman on Houston homers in the top of the 4th. Tied ball game until the bottom of the 6th when Turner homers to left for a 2-run shot. Taylor comes in to score as well. 3-1 Dodgers, and that was it. 3 home runs, and that was the ball game. But it was all about Kershaw. Kershaw outpitched Keuchel and got the job done. But last night's game was way more aggressive. So at this point, Dodgers had a 1-0 lead. Last night, Houston wins 7-6 in extra innings to tie the series 1-1. Here's a little recap. Top of the 3rd, still a 0-0 ball game. Bregman singles to center. Reddick scores. 1-0 Houston. Bottom 5, Peterson homers to right. 1-1 tie game. Bottom of the 6th, Seager homer to left. 2-run shot. 3-1 Dodgers, bottom 6. This is where it went wild. Top 8, Correa singles. Bregman scores. 3-2. Chip away at the lead. Old school baseball. Small ball. Top of the 9th. Gonzalez homers to center. 3-3. Houston ties it up in the top of the 9th. You ready for this? Top 10. Altuve goes yard. Takes the lead. Silence the crowd. For Correa to go back to back. Hits a solo shot. Next batter, 5-3 Houston. At that point, I texted my buddy, huge baseball guy, and said, "Oh my God, whoa." And he responds with, "What happened watching Lonzo Ball?" At this point, I'm like, that's a violation. You're a baseball guy. That's your number one. And you're going to hit me with, "Sorry, I was watching Lonzo Ball," where I go look up the stats and he had 0 points at this point with like 3 assists and 2 rebounds? Violation. So I put on Lonzo Ball at that point, expecting the game to be over. For me to check Twitter, bottom of the 10th, Puig homers to left with a line drive shot, makes it 5-4. Same inning, obviously, Hernandez singles to right, and they get another run, 5-5. And I missed it because I was watching Lonzo Ball. How pathetic of me. I just criticized someone for it to be a violation, and I just did the same thing. Unbelievable. Top 11. Springer homers to right, 2-run shot, takes the lead again, 7-5. And then bottom 11, Culberson homer to left center, 7-6. I'm thinking this is it. They are going to do it again. They are about to come back again. What a wild, wild game. That's beautiful. That's World Series baseball, and that's what makes it so much fun. But they can't get it done. The Dodgers fall 7-6. Series is tied 1-1. Such a huge, crucial game for Houston. Being down 0-2 and it being tied 1-1, I mean, come on. That is totally a huge advantage for Houston, because at this point, 3 straight games in Houston. This is why I don't like that. I don't like the 3 straight games in Houston. Doesn't that give the away team the advantage at this point? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all home games for Houston being tied 1-1. If you're telling me they sweep through because they get the home field advantage at this point, I just feel like that's dumb. 2-2, 1-1-1 should be the playout structure for everything. It should be. So we'll see what happens. I'm just rooting for a great series. I really don't care who wins at this point. I kind of like both teams. I like both stories. Verlander was in last night. I like Verlander. But I also love Kershaw, and I love him showing up the haters. So we will see where that series goes. Like I said, they play Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Love it. Love the games every night. All right, so let's hit our Sixers talk. Last night, they took on the Houston Rockets. No Fultz. This Fultz medical staff situation, I have no words for it. It's pathetic. It's a joke. And I cannot believe that a professional medical staff is putting on a performance like this once again. They changed 3 times what they did to Markelle Fultz's shoulder. But as of now, he's out with right shoulder soreness for 3 games. They said they drained it. They said they didn't drain it. They said they gave him a shot. They said he can't lift his arms to shoot. The agent is now backtracking. It's just stupid. I can't believe it. Why can't we just know with this team? Why can't you just tell us the truth so we know what is going to happen? Stop sugarcoating it. Let us know. Embiid was quoted after the game. Something about, I'm paraphrasing here, but every time he goes down, the whole building oohs. He said, "Stop doing that. I'm not made of glass." But Embiid, you're fragile. Let's be honest. You are fragile. You scare us every single time you hit the deck. So that's not our fault that we get upset when you hit the floor like that, because in reality, you fall more than Hartnell, and that's facts. Scotty down and B down. That game last night killed me. It absolutely killed me. We fall on a buzzer beater to the Houston Rockets without Chris Paul without Nene, without some of their big top guys, 105 to 104. The thing that bothers me the most is we definitely outplayed them that game. I mean, we had the lead for pretty much the whole game. Eric Gordon hits a 3 to win it at the buzzer. But before that, we had offensive plays up the floor. Ben Simmons tries to take it to the hoop. But if that's Brett Brown's play, I don't like it. The play right before then, Joel Embiid is mid-range, faces up, and hits a Jimmy. He just hit a nice solid shot. I'm going back to Embiid. I am going back to the big man down low. I know Ben Simmons can't shoot the basketball, so as a defender, there's only one thing he's going to do, and that's drive. And I get it, he's elite, and there's going to be a point where that drive is going to be that successful, but I think the play down there at that point of the game, the situation that was there, us needing a basket, only up by 2, Embiid just hit a nice shot. You feed the man again. You let him get it. I just didn't like that call. So I'm questioning it. It was a bad offensive opportunity. And if that was the play call, I am upset with it. Embiid had 21.6 boards. Covington had 20.6 boards. I like him. He can shoot the basketball. He's definitely a big piece. J.J. Redick, I obviously love. He had 22. Ben Simmons had 14, 9, and 7. So another stat line for Ben Simmons that we pretty much are looking for this year. Now, there is somebody. Let me go here. Further away. Dario had 17 minutes. 0 for 1 from the field goal. 0 points. 2 rebounds. What's happening? What's happened with Dario Saric? Where is the same Dario we saw from last year? Is it because he's not getting any minutes? 17. I mean, I'm sure he got more last year, but it was a different scenario. 17 minutes a game. You're getting 0 points off the bench. You had T.J. McConnell with 28 minutes last night. He played so good. If I played in the NBA, T.J. McConnell is the guy that I want to be. He is such a pest. He's an absolute pest. The amount of turnovers he causes, the hustle plays, the diving on the ground, the steals. It's beautiful to watch. You know what? He's not the hardest or the most skilled guy. He doesn't have the most talent, but oh my gosh, the way he works, his work ethic, it goes a long way in me just watching and truly enjoying seeing somebody work to that extent. And as an athlete, I think I'm going to be the same way when I get out on the ice for practice. That's how I feel about it. Watching him inspires me to play the same way as him in hockey. It's crazy. Last night he played perfectly for his role. And that's facts. It was beautiful. But I don't know, man. We're 1-4 with this Sixers team. I'm not giving up yet. We will take this as a learning experience. And I know I said I am done with the learning experiences. It's time to start winning basketball games. But because that happened now here in October, hopefully down the line, we remember this October game. And we step up to the plate when it matters later on in the season. That's the only positive thing I can think about it. It was an ugly last offensive possession. Once again, just like with those 2 turnovers against Boston, it was our fault. Was that the Boston game where we had 2 turnovers late? I don't remember which game that was, but regardless, it's on us again. It's completely on us again. And another problem I have with this team is the rebounding. It doesn't seem like we want it. It doesn't seem like the boxing out and the rebounding is a priority. And that's wrong. And does that fall back on the coach? Here I am going after Brett Brown today. I don't know why. I wasn't planning on it, but that's just how it kind of went. And another thing that bothered me is there was a goaltending call in Embiid late that clearly wasn't enough evidence to call that a goaltending. And it affected the game because it put them on the line after hitting the two. That if they didn't call that goaltending, that three-pointer at the end for Eric Gordon would have tied the game and not won it. So the referees did a horrible job there at the end on that goaltending call on Embiid. But what are you going to do? You shouldn't have lost the game regardless. You should not have lost the game. LeBron switched to point guard. That's interesting. He's putting up numbers like he always does, but they lose to a Brooklyn Nets team without D'Angelo Russell last night. Did not see the game. I don't know if I wanted to watch it, obviously. It was definitely an ugly one. They lost by 5, 112 to 107. LeBron's stat line was 29, 13, and 10. Triple-double. But you can't be losing to a team like that. I don't know the circumstances. Didn't see the flow of the game. Cannot be losing to a Brooklyn Nets team without a D'Angelo Russell. Even with a D'Angelo Russell, honestly. Not if you're on that level. But you know what? 82 games, things happen. Lonzo Ball last night. Play the Wizards. LeVar Ball talking smack, getting his boy all hype. Getting John Wall hype to play against him. Saying he's going to destroy him. And I sat down and I watched it. And what I can say about Lonzo Ball, 6 points, 2 for 11 shooting, 10 assists, 8 rebounds. He has beautiful vision. He has beautiful vision. He really does. The way he moves that ball, the way he sees his teammates in the open floor, even in a set, it's just crazy, his vision. It's awesome as a point guard. He does need to work on shooting big time. And what I like to compare him to, obviously, is Ben Simmons. The thing I like about Ben Simmons is his body is more dominant, and he has the same exact facilitation, if that makes sense. Now, what I'm going for is it's not facility. He has the same passing ability as Lonzo Ball, but he is more dominant. He can take it to the hoop better. Lonzo cannot take it to the hoop like Ben Simmons, but that has to come with his frame. That comes with how big his frame is and how dominant of a size it is. And both of them need to work on shooting big time. I mean, 2 for 11. Lonzo Ball had one night so far where he put up like 20 plus. But he hits his teammates open and in spots, and that's his job as the floor general. But getting better at shooting is only going to help him be more successful because people are going to respect him a little bit more and have to push up on him on D. And I've said that in the past about Ben Simmons, but it's the same for Lonzo. But I really do like Lonzo Ball. He was quoted saying, I already knew everybody was going to come at me like that. I'm not going to get into any Twitter war. I'm going to go out there and help my team. He's quiet. He's quiet and he does his thing. Although his dad's a little crazy, I think if he had a problem with it at this point, he would have sat down with his father and had the conversation. He probably doesn't mind it and realizes what it's doing. It's making his name even better. John Wall did call out LeVar to an extent and said, listen, I'm going to whoop on Lonzo for you saying what you've been saying. He comes out with 18 points, 9 assists. He shot 7 for 22. Wasn't the greatest night. Didn't destroy him. At one point at the third quarter, end of the second, start of the third, he got in the rhythm a little bit, but it died down. I wouldn't say he whooped on him. So that's where we are with the NBA. The Sixers have a game, not tonight. They're off. Their next game, because this 1-4 record's killing me, and I hate to look at it. Oh, it looks like we have a couple days off here. Is Saturday at 8:30, away against the 1-4 Mavericks. So let's see how we respond. And the last thing I want to talk about here is this Flyers squad. We lose a really tough one to Anaheim at home to end this home series. The final score was 6-2. And this is typical Flyers. Typical. We look great some games, and then other games we look garbage, and it's just inconsistent. And I don't know where we are yet with this team. It's an early season, 9 games in, 5-4. I'm not shutting them out. Couturier scored, Claude Giroux and Voracek on the assists. Couturier scored both goals. It's just, I'm not ready to give up on them. It's just typical. One night they look great, the next night they look bad, and they don't get anything going, and then we miss the playoffs by 1 seed. Just crazy. Nolan Patrick leaves after getting hit in that game. Did not look good, and then Gudas gets one punched in his fight, which is weird to see, honestly, but he got rocked. So we'll see how he responds. I'm curious if he's going to drop the mitts soon again to kind of boost his confidence. But yeah, we're sitting at 5-4 with the Fly guys. The Vegas Knights are 7-1. What is happening? Could you imagine a team like first year expansion draft winning the Stanley Cup? I could be ridiculous. This could just be a hot stretch for them, but sheesh, 7-1 is pretty insane. So I'm going to end this episode here. Thank you guys for listening. I will have another episode soon. I'm very happy that my class got canceled so I can sit here and create this for you. Thank you so much. See you guys next time.